Lima, Charlie Chi, Light Alpha Lima, 1 Lima, Fuse PD.
226. Fire!
294.
Ready, drop. Fire!
Let's go. Chester, hurry up. Let's
Ready,
go.
drop. Hey, ready?
Hey, light back, lean on one as a surprise. Look up.
Go!
Last row.
Let's go, Chester, hurry up.
Ready, drop.
Let's go. Lima. Get that tree up. Let's go.
Ready?
Hey, light back, lean on one as a surprise. Look up.
Go.
Fire.
Don't worry, stand by. Lock up. Fire! Ready, drop.
Let's go. Get that tree up. Let's go.
Ready?
Hey, light back, lean on one as a surprise. Look up. Fire.
Although you have the jungle here on Oahu, that's not necessarily the case over on the Big Island. And then about in spring of 2015, Charlie Battery 211 actually went on Pacific Pathways with 127 Wolfhounds and 2nd Brigade. And they experienced the full spectrum of conditions. So they went from Thailand, 95 degrees, to Korea in February, which was 7 degrees, and then the Philippines, which was also 95 to 100 degrees, all in the span of 2.5 months. And it really showed the soldiers in this division as being unique in the 25th, that we're the only division assigned to a combatant commander, Admiral Harrison Paycom, that this is what we could expect in this theater. It's been excellent. Going to Korea to see the combined arms live fire there with the ROK Army was excellent, and it would be the first time that we've had M777s on the peninsula, shooting side by side with our Korean allies. So just having soldiers being able to see that, it's something that will influence them for the rest of their lives, and they will never forget. And as they become leaders, it's something they can tell our future soldiers that come in the Army. Additionally, we have a number of other partnerships that we work in. Currently have 55 soldiers in New Zealand right now, executing what's called Lightning Kiwi, and that's really combined training. Both U.S. and New Zealand crews on the M119 or A3 howitzer, so they're executing that right now. And they're doing a great job, and we also have a platoon from 3rd Battalion 7th Field Artillery supporting 227 Wolfhounds from 3rd Brigade as they go ahead and execute Tiger Bomb in that part of the RIMPAC and Combined Arms Live Fire out in PTA. Artillery is absolutely it's a lethal weapon system. Like many of our weapon systems in the Army. What's different about artillery is an indirect fire weapon, and when they do mass that battalion, it is coming from howitzers that are throughout the depth and width of the brigade operational area. So there absolutely has to be standards. We have to understand how much time it takes to process certain missions, what the composition of the enemy is, so we have the correct few shell combinations and correct number of rounds. And that has to be finite, that has to be intricate, it has to be very well planned with the maneuver commander, so we can ensure all those other systems that are within that direct support artillery battalion, such as their resupply, their maintenance, that is all synchronized within the plan, especially the resupply for their ammunition. So the standards are absolutely critical, and there's another reason why they're critical is when DIVARTYs went away, it got to the point where battalions were establishing their own standards, and And a battalion just cannot train itself. It takes a higher headquarters to do that. And it takes a higher headquarters to publish the standards, to teach leaders the standards, and then to hold leaders accountable to those standards that are within that division artillery. So the biggest payoff I've seen in the last 2 years is I can go out and visit training, and I know leaders understand how long it takes for them to occupy, how much time they have to, which they have to occupy, how long to shoot certain rounds, how accurate they are on missions. So I think the leader development piece has been absolutely critical in the establishment of standards. And also, once you have those standards and you go maybe to a brigade that doesn't have a DIVARTY, which I served in a lot throughout my career, you've grown up in an environment where you had multiple levels of artillery leaders to teach you and about standards and how to execute training within the field artillery. And so once you have that base, and you're thrown out of your comfort zone of being in a separate brigade, and there's no DIVARTY commander above you, and you're trusted to do the right thing, you're well prepared to do it at that point. But what the DIVARTY brings to the division, and I stress this to everyone in the unit, is when the division goes to fight, we fight the division's fight for them. And that's our job. And we have to know how to do it, and we have to do it extremely well. If we were to deploy somewhere and find ourselves in a fight with an adversary, we could very well have rocket battalions attached to us that the DIVARTY would take control of and really execute those deep fires for the division. So eventually when the BCTs do come into contact, it's not with an enemy that's intact. Ideally we want them to be in a state of disarray and not ready to fight. We want to fight them from a position of relative advantage, and part of getting that advantage is devastating fires on the enemy as early and as often as possible. The last thing I'd say is that other importance of DIVARTY, I truly believe it's building the experiential database for our young leaders. When I first got here, it was myself and a couple lieutenant colonels and maybe a major or two that actually served in a DIVARTY under the old construct prior to the wars in 9/11. So I had to reach back on a lot of those memories of what I learned. But as I stated earlier, once you have that base, you don't forget it, and it's a point at which to depart. And I think we're doing a great job, and I've seen almost monthly growth in our leaders as I go around and talk to them on their knowledge and how to plan and execute fires either for the division or for the BCT. So extremely proud to have served with everyone in the DIVARTY, extremely proud to have been a member of this division. It's a great division. And as I tell all soldiers in our newcomers brief that I just had today, I said, you will leave this place and you will never experience anything like it again. And then the final thing is, we have standards in training and leaders holding individuals accountable for standards is imperative in everything we do, not only in this branch but across the Army. And I think back to when I was told by another general officer as a young captain, he said, if you stay in this business for 20 years, you will deploy. And that was about 1993, and I was thinking to myself, the wall just came down. We just won the Gulf War. Who's going to challenge this force of the United States Army? They'd be crazy to want to do it. But lo and behold, about 10 years later, where do we find ourselves? So constantly telling our young leaders that, ensuring that they always keep that in the front of their minds when they're training. We'll make sure we're the best force we can be, and we'll be ready for anything. DIVARTY reactivated, and I talked to many veterans and members that served in the 25th or even within battalions or the DIVARTY itself that are now retired and either from the state of Hawaii or now live in the state of Hawaii. So I just want to thank them for all their support, and thank you to the Hawaiian people for giving us a great welcome and putting up sometimes with the noise that we make throughout the days and nights and on the weekends. We thank you very much for your patience in that and your continued support. It's been a great experience.